But I want to read y'all some of the book. I also perform, maybe one or two pieces from the album as well that's attached to it. I haven't had a cool rap name since the 6th grade when I was hypotenuse. Hypotenuse is, in case you forgot, the longest side of a right triangle, and you calculate it using the Pythagorean theorem. It represented a third of the things that were important to me when I started rapping. My family, school, and hip hop. My rap name at the time was meaningful and nerdy and appropriate, also considering my friend group. My middle school friends and I picked all of our rap names out of textbooks. Deepmar was Decipher because he could break down bars. Vanderlee was Nimble Stratus because his flow was like heavy rain, a lot to handle, like storm clouds, And we were all just nerds. And even though my small class of 16 didn't always get along at Nativity Prep, hip hop was something that brought us all together. We excitedly discussed the latest music videos every morning, and we would rip down the street team posters of the latest releases in the neighborhood, specifically the Jennifer Lopez ones, because we wanted to ensure that everyone else was in the loop. During recess and lunch, in between basketball and chess games, we would trade verses and freestyle our newest rhymes, and some of us, I won't name names here, would memorize obscure mixtape raps and fronted like they wrote those raps. Didn't matter whether the words were ours or not. We were all active participants in hip hop culture, and that shared experience bonded 16 kids from all over the city who had different backgrounds, ethnicities, languages, and lived experience. But rap wasn't the only way hip hop brought people together. See, the cypher experience could be seen across disciplines. Whether we shared our graffiti tags, dances, Fruity Loop beats, we did so in community. We were close in proximity, age, and in spirit. We had shared values and goals, and we expressed those through this culture. As a child, I never questioned why I saw and heard a majority of black male voices rapping. I knew Lauryn Hill, Queen Latifah, Ladybug Mecca, and MC Lyte. I knew that they held it down for the ladies on the microphone. I saw women like Missy Elliott, TLC, and Aaliyah dance and perform raps and sing songs. I didn't know anything about the behind the scenes, creative teams, women executives in the industry, or women producers and engineers. And as a teenager, I knew nothing of gay people until the sister of a close friend came out to me to share that she was bisexual. I had never heard the term before and had to sheepishly ask if it was slang for cool. She trusted that I was caring and responsible because of my raps, and because of my raps, I learned about an entirely new perspective and lived experience. Through this culture, like Socrates, I learned that I know nothing. Our individual and collective human experience is wide and vast. The only thing that seemed to matter was if you were cool. And what cool meant to me then and even today was creative, caring, accepting, curious, and supportive. You could be cool doing anything, but hip hop gave people a space, place, and community to demonstrate how cool you could be.
I like that.
Yeah. There's a couple of pieces that I think make sense to kind of read after that, specifically because it's from the song called Love Is. And I wrote it for this event called the Unity Ball in Sacramento, California. A friend of mine was organizing this event to honor and recognize Black and brown, queer and trans women who were community leaders, because there was no awards. And I was like, absolutely, yes. It was it was a no-brainer for me. And she was like, you were really quick to say yes. Can you tell me why? And I was like, well, hip hop is all about authenticity, right? And, in a culture that's you can't front, you can't bite, other people's bars, you can't mimic or copy. It's weird that we would try to tell people to be something other than who they are, right? And so if authenticity is important to us and bringing people together is important to us, and you need somebody to say that, I'm down to say that. Forgive me if I couldn't recognize the power and beauty that's in your eyes. I see strength in every tear that you cry. Know that I will always be here by your side. Imagine a world of acceptance and peace where all your wants and needs, you have what you seek, protected and respected by all your family, where you can just be free, free, free. Especially when you should know that this love is real, committed to do no harm and doing more to heal. You're the light in these dark times I need to reveal. I was foolish, but I'm ready to know how you feel. Forgive me when I deserve it, tell me when I don't. Sometimes we rebuild this ship just to keep it afloat. It's part of me. I acknowledge that I needed to grow. I'm sorry I wasn't there when you needed me most. So I promise to step up and be there for you. And step back when it's your turn to seed the soil. I share my home, my food. I'll be there for you. I commit to being an air that'll be here for you. Bigger than bathrooms, classrooms, and cash rules. Love is the only thing that's natural. Identify how you wish makes no difference to me. You deserve to be happy and free, free. So forgive me if I couldn't recognize the power and beauty that's in your eyes. I see strength in every tear that you cry. Know that I will always be here by your side. Imagine a world of acceptance and peace, where all your wants and needs, you have what you seek, protected and respected by all your family, where you can just be free, free, free. Yeah. It's like beautiful, like piano chords, like all of that.
We hear it.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm gonna find that song on streaming, you know what I'm saying? And my homie, Phil Harmonic, he actually produced that track. He won NPR's Tiny Desk last year.
Oh, okay.
And then now he's like world famous. But before, you know what I'm saying? It was like, yo, that's the homie. He's gonna do this for me, and that was awesome. Yeah. So again, you know, thinking about like voices and perspectives that like don't always exist in the mainstream, you know, hip hop culture because of misogyny, right? Sexism, capitalism, racism, like there's all of these isms, right? And all of these things. I thought it was also important to uplift Black women on a song that I did called Storytelling and Empathy. So the verse goes like this. Beads in the hair, cornrows and big froze, natural oil weave, nails matching the toes. On a Black women, lessons learned from my grandma's house. Gotta love her the most cause she holding me down. This for our Black queens, we gotta do better to protect. Almost 60 years, Aretha still singing for respect. You put us on the moon and you put crowns on us, lifted our heads up high when the world looked down on us. When they jailed us, Angela Davis was organized. Maya Angelou bell hooks should be immortalized. If you saw the world rise up for Black lives, that movement was led by Black mothers and wives. Ain't no surprise when you see a queen doing the thing. We gotta own our own stories like the woman king. Brick by brick, she been down from the ground up so we can have health and wealth surround us. Yes, these are the stories never told. Our heroes, she rose. So out of the concrete like a rose, she arose and she arose. These are the stories never told. He rose, she rose. Out of the concrete like a rose. She arose, she arose.
Dang. That was good.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Page 86, we won't go to. There's a bunch of stuff in here. The way that, you know, the book is also written is each chapter, there's 10 chapters, and each chapter is kind of a different set of values, right, that I'm talking about. And the chapter list is also the track list for the album. So if you're like wanting to like kind of go back and forth, you can do that. And each chapter is broken down into 3 sections where I kind of answer these 3 main questions. Where do I see this value, you know, exist and be demonstrated in my personal life? You know, as somebody who participates in hip hop culture, where can I see it? And if I can see it in my personal life, when I look out into my local community, where do I recognize these values being demonstrated in my local community, right, in our local culture? And then, when we look out into the mainstream kind of global community, where do we see these values being demonstrated at that level? And if it's ever missing, right, if you can't identify examples, then what can you do to
fill in the gap?
You know what I'm saying? Exactly. Fill that in, right? To start to then, create the things that weren't there before, right? So just wanted to share that piece with you. And it's really about, creativity, innovation. Which is chapter 7, Jill House. Early in my career, I had a supervisor tell me that I shouldn't release the album I have been working on, as it would distract or take away from my work. No, she did. Most folks would think that's conservative advice and probably given in good faith, but for me, I felt insulted. I knew the topics I covered in my music were directly related and connected to the work I was doing in education and community, and I had seen how fans and supporters were interested in the message, and sometimes even more in the messages than the music itself. My fans wanted to get involved with the social issues I rapped about, meet the needs of the students and community narratives that I shared, and build a community with mutual aid and serving others is more important than record sales. Because I was using my music to address social issues and blend my storytelling with activism, my students got mentors, winter coats, field trips, and food. My community supporters showed up to raise money for single moms, kids with autism, provide food for the homeless during the holidays, and protest gentrification. This kind of creativity is part of the legacy of civil rights leaders, social justice artists, and resistance movements. To me, releasing music was how I connected with and inspired my community to take action about the things that were important to all of us. Engaging community through my art ensures that my words don't just live on a page or on a record. It's a form of accountability to show up in the spaces and places to do the work alongside others in my community to better our collective conditions. Everyone has a role to play, and people of all ages could participate. I don't perform often in traditional bars and music clubs. In fact, I often perform on school campuses and community centers, and I'm usually taking my art to the next level through workshops, classes, or using the performance itself to teach. I strive to perform in spaces that center youth and underserved populations because those spaces are similar to the conditions that I grew up in, and I want to help others break the cycle. And so, none of that happens without community, right, and a collective ethos. And so, the last piece, I need y'all help again. Y'all did so great in the beginning. Right. There's a track, the last chapter is called Community Building, so the track is called Community Building. There's 8 people on it. Jill's on it. I'm going not to put you on the spot, Jill. You know what I'm saying?
You always put me on the spot.
No. It's cool. You know what I'm saying? And go like this. We got us, that's community. We got us, that's community. We basically just say that 4 times.
All right.
You know what I mean? So let's try it again. Let's try it.
Right.
We got us, that's community.
We got us, that's community. We got us, that's community. We got us, that's community.
Leaders of the new school, we building dreams. So it seems we disrupt hope. They disrupt hope by any means. Generations of pain holding our genes, building unity and wealth to busting out the seams. We build because the youth need opportunity. We build because employment over eulogies. We build mentorship and continuity. We build because we got us, that's community.
We got us, that's community. We got us, that's community. We got us, that's community. We got us, that's community.
Y'all did so good. That brings me to the end of my feature.